leave it to the professionals.
Blessed by Bundy, blah, blah, blah.
Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her Era Lord. Call me Levi, playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the
Started off with a
blockchain.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like the Brown James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. The field's not falling for the FOMO. Listening to Coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum NFTs. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I gotta shout out
Started
the
off with a
party.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1, hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream, now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems, topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Freaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits. Yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, miny, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. Had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So I had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the bribe with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
GM, welcome to Coffee with Captain. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Hope you're all having a great start to the week. It is going to be a fun one today. We've got CPI print coming up at 8:30 today, and then we've got 2 special guests joining us, first at 8:45, and then a quick follow right at 9 o'clock. And no promises, no guarantees, but we might have some fun. We might do a spin, some fun giveaways or 2. Again, no expectations of that, but there might be some fun stuff at 9 o'clock for those of you hanging out with us today. We also, we're live as always here on X Audio Spaces, X Video, as well over on YouTube and Abstract. Your daily reminder to hit that like and subscribe over on Abstract if you've not yet done so, or Jesus, how about YouTube? Do the like and subscribe. I mean, if you want to follow us on Abstract, you certainly can do that as well, but we're really pushing for those YouTube subs, and we're grinding away. Every time I mention it, we get like 1 or 2 new subs, so thank you to the stragglers. Greatly appreciate it. Be doing, actually might have 2 guest appearances for myself tomorrow. I'm definitely doing one at on Zoe's live stream at Zoe and Morta's live stream at 11. I believe it is 11 a.m. I'll double check. It's 4 p.m. UTC. I'm pretty sure that translates to 11 a.m. They are the 2 who joined us last week. Here talking about Gamify and what they're doing from an AI agent gaming front. We'll be joining them, and then maybe another one if that gets confirmed. It would be tomorrow, like 4 Eastern. We'll let y'all know tomorrow if that is a go. Congrats to, I see Osiris just jumped in the OpenSea mobile. If you missed it, apes and pudgy holders can get in on the OpenSea mobile app. You're allow listed for that. I also pinned up top. Shout out. Let me see actually if he's out there. If not, I'll wait a little bit because he's in here almost every morning. Yeah, I'll wait till Boo joins us. Speaking of giveaways and contests, I also have pinned up top the free Coffee with Captain World Cup contest, the bracket contest. Literally costs nothing to enter. You don't need to load any funds in your account. You just got to click the link up top, join Underdog, and fill out your bracket. And the winner will be winning. Whoever wins that bracket. Again, it's most of these World Cup competitions. There's a ton of them. There's like hundreds of thousands or millions of competitors going for the free money. This one it's free and it's limited to Coffee with Captain. Right now, there's maybe a dozen entries. So you've got, if no one else signs up, like a 1 in 12 chance to win a $250 gold claw machine claw pull from BZ. You'll be winning the Coffee with Captain Community Member of the Month for the month of July. It's the first time we've had a contest-based Community Member of the Month. Usually, it is based on participation and support, etc. And this will be the winner. World Cup ends, I think, July 19th, and so in the month of July, will be just simply that winner will be getting the $250 claw pull. Again, up top, links for tomorrow's show. Go hit that reminder. The abstract links up there, the YouTube links up there. And then like third, fourth one in is says another free to enter World Cup contest. That's the Coffee with Captain group. There's some others. I may show up there later, but I don't want to confuse people. I saw a post. There's maybe a dozen free to enter World Cup contest with prizes up for grabs. And some of them are being slept on. Some, I mean, you're going to be more than a dozen probably, but while some, the big ones, the poly markets, the Kalshis might have 1 million people enter, some are like in the hundreds, and you got some pretty good money up there. So take advantage of the free to enter contest. They are as plus EV as you can possibly get since it costs nothing to enter. And then last but not least, the shout out to NFT Drew. I saw someone getting their Robinhood account set up to do AI trading. That is on my list today as well. I'm curious. Well, you did it before, so you weren't using Fable, but Fable just came out yesterday. It's like the consumer safety guarded version of Mythos. It did go live. I did the daily brief today, scheduled the daily task running. One thing I don't know on maybe someone that's more in the or deeper in the Claude streets can tell me. I had to, previously it was doing that in Cowork, and I basically had to recreate it so I could change the model. Like the reoccurring tasks, the crypto brief, it was, previously it was, I don't remember what model, Opus or Sonnet. It doesn't matter. Anyways, to change it though, I couldn't just change it in the recurring task. I had to create a new task, change the model to Fable 5, and then redo it, which is fine. It's just something I noticed there that was could be an error on my part. Very well could be. I am dropping I think we got all the links pinned up top. And again, couple guests today joining us, kicking things off at 8:45, and then another one at 9. And like I said, no promises. I should have confirmed this, but I think we might have a giveaway or two, maybe if not Coffee with Captain, but a similar type giveaway where the participant should win something if we do it, but not 100% certain. No pressure for our guests that I'm putting the pressure on here by foreshadowing a giveaway that they don't know they're going to be giving anything away. Also had some fun yesterday we talked about, we had a big conversation on VFriends and their big day today. By the way, it's 8:09, so those retail boxes have started hitting your targets. Targets open at 8, so hopefully good luck to anyone out there chasing down some VFriends today. I hope you hit one and hit a grail. Iceman in the chat says on the road to get a VFriends Topps Chrome for the show. We're going to be ripping a live pack. So it's going to be a fully interactive show today. Atari, appreciate the love. Osiris as well. And all of our GMers. We didn't, I just now realized, I'm just now checking to make sure that StreamYard didn't automatically mute me. It did not, thank goodness, because I'm just now checking. But yeah, GM to all the early birds, Thomas, Absolute Zero, Red Reviews, Osiris, and Machiavelli, by the way, whatever you wanted to talk about, assuming it didn't happen yesterday and there's still time, I forgot to go to you before you ended the show, so that's my bad. So if you want to jump up real quick and share whatever you wanted to share yesterday, we've got a few minutes here before we get into kind of a busy news day. Before we got to get all this in before 8:45. including we got a CPI print coming up at 8:30. So I won't do a deep dive on that, but expecting inflation to hit a 3-year high, which not great. Not great for probably not great for markets because we're not getting a rate cut, and yeah, things are just who knows what's going on in the great big macro world. I think we're back at war Iran after we were into a peace agreement or heading that way, and now it's back guns blazing. So not trying to make light of the situation, but it seems to be probably getting more volatile from a geopolitical standpoint before things settle out. GM, Blockmage, GM Aspire Nobody, Mike Campbell, Atari again, and Red Reviews says 0 for 1 at Target. When you say 0 for 1, do you think you just missed it? They are like someone got there at 8:01 and bought it before you, or that particular Target just wasn't stocking this Chrome box? Says he did run into a VFriends fan. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool seeing VFriends fans out in the wild. Also, Katie said nothing at her Target, so I am wondering, was it just select Targets, or were there people in there? Did employees take them off the shelves at 7:59 for their own? I don't think they can do that, but maybe. Thomas, I saw you jump up on stage before we go to Machiavelli real quick. Are you at Target? Have you secured a VFriends box? I can't hear Target, nor can I hear Machiavelli. Oh man. I jinxed myself saying that StreamYard didn't mute me. Now there was an X audio update. Let me do the unplug plug back in. Let's do take two. There we go. We're back.
There you go. You're back.
Unplugged and plugged it back in. Never fails. I saw you said I went underwater. Is it good now? Are we back? Did the unplugging plugging back in?
You're back. You're back. No, you're back. You just got off for a little. It was a little weird for a second.
Okay, we'll come right back to you here in a sec, Machiavelli. Thomas, are you in a Target as we speak?
I am, and I don't see any VFriends boxes on the shelves, so I might have to ask customer service, but we'll see.
Keep us posted. Let us know if you find one. And wouldn't it be funny if this was all just a big rug? Long rug by Gary and the VFriends team. Promote this Chrome. There's no drop today. There's no Topps Chrome set. It's not happening. Just wanted to get everyone out in the Target stores for some extra things. I kid. Mike Campbell, are you at Target?
I am not. I'm in Los Angeles, so I just woke up.
Not even Target's not even open in your world yet.
No, not yet. But I want to mention about Target and about the distribution thing that happens with cards. Companies like Topps, they have, I want to say distributors or people that distribute the product for them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's those people that have to go into the store and set it all up. So the employees may not know anything yet. So there may be a pile of boxes in the back.
There could be a pallet of cards in the back, just not on the floor. So you're saying that this is a product that's merchandised, so the employees themselves aren't setting it on the floor. They got to wait until the whoever the not just the distributor, but the what like a marketing partner, what do you call the people who go in and set up these end caps and these displays?
I forget the term, but whoever it is that delivers the product to the store, they're the ones that say it's okay to start putting it out.
Interesting. Yeah. So maybe Iceman and be Epic. Anyone you're in a Target, we're going to go to Teacher Katie next. Ask the employees, like have them double check. Are you sure you don't have any of this back before you leave? Because there's a very good chance they are there. They haven't been set up yet. They haven't been put out on display yet. And they may still not be able to do anything about it if not. But if they're in inventory and not on the show floor yet, the employee might be able to grab you one. Be Epic says his store, just check the back room. Teacher Katie, GM, are you at a Target right now?
I am at a Target. Now I'm in the parking lot. I've already been in the Target to see that there's nothing on the shelves. And I did talk to the employees. And there is a vendor who comes in who takes care of all that. So there's no way to know. Sometimes they show up in the middle of the day. So there's no way to know. But I did hear early this morning, that there was a delay for Target. So I don't know if everybody going to Target this morning is not going to get anything.
Target going to get a few extra door swings today by people going a couple times. Machiavelli, I'm going to go to you next, and we'll get your plug in here. Feel free to do so. Before I do so, I'm going to plug something. not paid to do so. I'm gonna actually. This is most likely we're gonna do. Not only gonna do a coffee with Captain mug. Shout out to my Goats GM mug that's become a daily driver here for me on the show. We're gonna do a coffee with Captain mug. We're also gonna do some merch, and as long as they can do low MOQs and or drop ships, which I think they said they could, we're going with this Blue Cotton company. They've won me over. I saw them at, it was the Bitcoin conference. They were there. They had a booth, and the reason they were there, well, I mean, they had a booth, and like others, they, like the traffic at Bitcoin conference, but they're small organization. They're in, like, I want to say Tennessee, somewhere in like the Midwest, the South, but they call it like 100 employees, 150 employees, and they, when you're that size, when you're not a major, large company, it's just like benefit programs are challenging, from healthcare to 401ks. And so instead of the traditional 401k match, they did a Bitcoin match for all their employees, and they vested it. Like, you had to basically work there for 5 years until your Bitcoin started unlocking. They were doing, like, instead of a gift card bonus, they would do like a Bitcoin bonus for, like you get a $50 bonus, $100 bonus. They were paying those out instead of like small gift cards. They were giving Bitcoin, which wasn't locked. Didn't have to vest. Anyways, long story short, I like the shirt. It was nice quality. And I was wrestling with Duke this morning, so it's maybe a little wrinkled and some dog hairs, some random dog hairs on it probably. But what won me over this morning is I just thought this was a shirt. Just said Blue Cotton their name, and it's just nice quality, comfy, nice and soft. And I'm at the gym, and I look down, and there's a Bitcoin logo on my chest. I'm like, that wasn't there. So it's like shout out. They talk about the nostalgic heartstrings. It's like a hypercolor. I don't know if it was wet. I don't know if it's sweat that pulls out the logo or heat. Probably heat would make more sense than wetness. But yeah, you can't even see it here on the screen. But it was, when I was in the gym this morning, there's just a circle Bitcoin logo, like right here, that appears when I either get hot and or wet. So if we do a coffee with Captain shirt with the height, maybe we do a coffee with Captain shirt, and then what's not shown unless you get hot or get wet is like maybe the ape, maybe a coffee mug. I don't know. Maybe we get them to do a coffee mug for us that, as you pour hot coffee in and it changes colors. I have seen those before, but I hadn't seen it's been a while since I was surprised, like a reveal. I had a reveal on my t-shirt this morning at the gym, and I'd worn this before. I just hadn't worn it to the gym, and so I wasn't aware of the hidden Bitcoin logo. But anyways, Machiavelli, GM, sir, what is it you wanted to talk about today? And are we too late? Did it already expire? Do you have some time?
Not too late, Cap. Thanks for having me up.
You got it.
We have a space coming up today at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time or 4 p.m. EST. Today is the final day for the team selection for the other cup for the Board Yacht Club versus Claynosaurs World Cup fantasy competition. And so if anybody who wants to participate who hadn't signed up, you can still go to the link in the Discord to sign up and draft your team. We got a pretty stacked team on the Board Ape Yacht Club side. I'm not really quite sure on the Clano side, but I'm hoping we don't lose this thing, man. You know what I mean? The first community competition out there and stuff like that. So anybody who's if you're a doggo, ape, a mutant holder, please get into the Discord, sign up. We'd love to have you. There's prizes being given out on both sides, actual physical merch from Claynos and Board Ape Yacht Club, as well as some NFTs. But we're really not focused on that right now. This is a long competition from the 11th, starting tomorrow, all the way to the 19th of July for the entire World Cup. So, we would love participation. Like I said, you can find all the information in the Perspective Discords and join us this afternoon for a space if you so feel inclined.
Nice.
Thank you, Cap.
Feel free to drop a link up top if you got it and want to. You're more than welcome. And reminds me that this community competitions are fun. Shout out to, this is old, for those who've been around for a while, myself, Bunchu, and man, I know his real name. Premium Carrots? What was Carrots' name for those of you that are around? Why am I drawing a blank here?
I'm
Premium Carrots. Yeah, Premium Carrots. I was right.
Carrots.
So Premium Carrots, Bunch of myself did a community fantasy league, and like Gary was supportive. V-Friends had a team. Apes had a team. There was basically like your team was repping a community, and it'd be fun to go back and see. I think it was a 12-team league, so it was 12 different Web3 NFT PFP type communities. It'd be funny to see how, like, Qualit Intelligence Agency was one. They're no longer no longer around. Man, what was the? I'm going to go back and see who was actually in what were the 12 communities and how many of them are still alive. But we gave over $1 million. Like it sounds wild today, but back then it was it was just,
what?
Yeah, $1 million.
$1 million?
Yep, over $1 million of prizes to in that fantasy contest. It sounds crazy today to say that, but it was so that kind of puts things in perspective how crazy and wild things were. Feels like a nothing burger. I mean, it wasn't a nothing burger. Like the people who were in it were excited, and someone won an ape near I think when we acquired the ape from so it was a paid mint, and then all 100%. It was actually not only 100%, it ended up being 110, 120% of the mint went back out in prizes. It was far more because the value went up. It's we minted, we bought an ape, and then it went way up. I think we ended up. I could be off on these numbers. I think we bought the ape for $70K, and by the time the season concluded, it was $250K or $300K or something. So ape was a big chunk of it, but there was a Clonex mint vial that I think I remember Jake Versatile saw the winner and bought the card, and and then ended up flipping it for I want to say 12 ETH when ETH was around 3K. So he hit for 36. It was fun, and but more so than the prizes or the amount, it was fun to get the community involvement. And shout out to, again, this was early. I think we were doing Coffee with Captain. It might have been pre-Coffee with Captain. This is how early it was. But even if the show was live, we didn't I might have had maybe 12,000 followers on this app. And so I definitely did not have any real near the not just the reach, just the I guess credibility. I'm struggling for a word as I might have today in crypto and Web3. And Gary was one of the first ones to jump in and support us. Sent him a DM, told him what we were doing. He said his response was a one line I dig it, or I'm in. And then he connected me with I can't remember, someone else on the team, and might have been Andy. Might have been Andy at the time. Is Andy still with VFriends? I haven't seen the name on the timeline for a bit. Katie, is Andy still around?
Yes.
Awesome. Good guy. Solid guy. Always enjoyed him. I think he played a big role in the VCons and doing a lot of work for that conference, and good to hear he's still doing it. But yeah, quick trip down memory lane courtesy of Machiavelli and the community contest. That other game links pinned up top. Also, especially for those that are in that ape community, they're rerunning the raffle, or they're doing a raffle now. The first time it was just too much demand. They pulled the cigar box drop, and it's re-going as a raffle. That is pinned up top. Again, if you missed it, they partnered with the Scandinavian Tobacco Group, the world leader in tobacco and cigars, to curate a limited edition collector's cigar box built around the journey of the club. 5 distinct blends curated across 5 years of Bored Ape Yacht Club, limited to 50 boxes. I'm not a cigar smoker, but I do want the box, and I'll probably smoke one of the cigars. What I should do is smoke a cigar, and then I should maybe we'll give one away on the show, and then I'll sell the other 3 to free roll the box. I kid, but I'm kind of serious. Anyways, you sign up to receive the opportunity to purchase at cigars.bayc.com. Signups close tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern time. So be sure, if you want to get in that raffle. They do ask you to acknowledge that if you do win, you plan to purchase. It's free to enter the raffle. You will be purchasing. I think the box is $150. Does anyone know, Machiavelli? Do you know the actual Machiavelli or
Yeah. So from when it first launched, the price was $120.
$120. Okay.
Site. Yep. I'm assuming it's going to stay the same price.
Yeah, I think so too. And there's only 50 of these things. Who knows? Maybe I'm misreading it, but these things probably sell for, I'm guessing, north of $500. There's enough people in the club there's more than 50 people in the club that want this box, these cigars. And so I'm not.
There's several bounties already.
I was gonna say,
for,
I assume
for $500 and plus.
That was my guess. I would be the floor, I'm guessing, is around $500 would be just, it's probably a quick 10x, or not 10x. Anyways, and I'm not encouraging, hey, flip to your fellow members, but it's part of we were talking about with VFriends yesterday. It's a community that's built of collectors and flippers and traders, and Same thing with Board Ape Yacht Club. Like, it's okay to, like, I'm guessing it'll probably be limited to one. And while I don't like someone coming in, it would be bad if there was 50 of these and someone comes in and buys 20 of them. That would suck. And then they just then control supply and gouge their fellow members. But I don't see anything wrong with buying one and then selling it for whatever the markets are going to market. And the market will decide what they value these at on a set of 50. And if you're lucky to hit a raffle, hit the raffle, take your win if you don't want to keep the box. But just my opinion. I know others kind of disagree with that and don't feel members should be flipping stuff at a gain to their fellow members. But I think the peer-to-peer marketplace is great. And this would be one where, speaking of, I have actually it's being flattened out right now, but shout out to Mike, who sent me a poster recently, and as well as Ape Whale. I got the two posters I was missing from Ape Fest. One from Ape Whale was a mutant poster, and then Mike was, remind me, Mike, what was the poster? Which one? We might have lost Mike, but I'll give him another shout out when it arrives. Greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. We're like 3 minutes away from CPI print this morning. So before we get into that, a couple like flyover news item. Lisbon, yes, thank you very much. Lisbon was the missing Ape Fest. Makes sense. It was the only one I was not in attendance at. This came out a few days ago, but the SEC did unveil their strategic plan for 2026 through 2030, and the lead topic was crypto, which I know not many of us are happy with, like price action. And I saw also in the news, I saw that the Trump family has made like $2 billion off of crypto, with like putting less than $1 million or about $1 million at risk, which doesn't look great. So despite all the challenges, I do think we're in a really good spot relative to where we were, where we had a legitimate war on crypto led by the SEC. They were sending off Wells notice. Like almost every founder, we talked, you heard from Henry the Ape or Henry the Grape from CyberKongs and what they went through with the SEC, and just like enforcement by regulation, like basically the SEC creating laws of their own by making it really hard to navigate in this space. Just so much unknown, so much lack of clarity. Go from that where not only for crypto and want to make, and forget about the crypto president and all the meme coins and all that nonsense, but actually from where we were getting attacked, a legitimate war on crypto, to where we're at now, where not only are they pro crypto and supportive of positive regulation, but it's the focus of the SEC is to draft regulatory responsibilities and just a new era. Shout out to Paul Atkins, and this is exciting. So this came out on June 6th, but I don't even think I covered the headline. Not going to do a deep dive today, but it did want to at least call attention to it. Probably not going to do a full market update. I'll hit on some highlights here, but just due to the sake of time, we're going to skip the intro today. We'll play another intro here in about 15 minutes. But a couple things I do want to point out relative to the market. I mean, it's another red day across the board, unfortunately, at least in tokens. One that looking like a snack for me is Hyperliquid at down 11% on the day, 25% on the week. It's down to $55. My Hyperliquid, I'm in at a lower cost basis than 55. So I've not bought north of 55. But when something like this is down, that nothing in the thesis has changed. It's just why it's down 11% today, I don't know. I'd have to do a little deeper dive. But conversely, Zcash down 12% of the day, that narrative doesn't do as much for me as the actual profitable protocol that is Hyperliquid. And so I'll be looking at Hyperliquid later today. Solana down 4%, ETH down 2.78%, Bitcoin down 2%. Bitcoin's at 61,317, ETH at 1630. And pretty just a red day across the board. Canton is the first, of the top 20, the only one that's in the green. Canton's up 1% on the day, up 8% on the week. It's also the only one up on the week. So showing some strength there. I missed it, but I did see Mayhem dropped some Canton news in the chat earlier today. This is a post from AIXBT. Said Canton Network generated 193 million in fees in Q1, 42% of all fees across 21 chains Messari tracks, more than Solana. DeFi Llama shows zero TVL because Broadbridge's 348 billion daily repo settlement and DTCC's treasury tokenization are invisible to every standard crypto dashboard. So that's interesting. 42% of fees, though, doesn't sound right. I mean, did not Hyperliquid generate more than 193 million in Q1? I believe, just based on their annual run rate, I would imagine they generated more than 193 million in Q1, unless that's the only two who generated fees. But again, get big news for Canton. Market seemingly responding well here, and then not to take a negative spin, but I just opened up a short this morning on Magic Eden. It's down pretty big in the last. I guess what tab was I been sharing here? Oh, let me share the actual market tab. Fear and greed on from CoinMarketCap still shows 14. Another chart had it at 9, so back in single digits. This is on the last month. Just in the last month, Magic Eden's down 50%. In the last week, down 25%, and it's basically down 1% in the last day. Here's where it gets interesting. So down 50% in the last month. Only about half the supply is unlocked. It is, I can't do the math, but let's just say 53%, 54% of the supply is unlocked. More coming. And while they do have monthly unlocks, most of the unlocks are not, they're relatively small. So like you can see, the April unlock was $640,000 on today's token price. Same thing in May, 640,000, and mostly goes to community and ecosystem is where the majority of that 640, 415,000 goes to community and ecosystem. Just a small 171 grand goes to strategic participants, and then 53,000 to contributors. This month, and I don't know why this month is so different, but this month here in 7 hours and 56 minutes, there's a $10 million unlock, 9.64 million, almost all that, 161 million Magic Eden token is going to contributors. It's 16.13%, 28% of the float goes to contributors. And again, just a massive, the others stay the same from past months, community ecosystem, strategic participants, and then another bucket of contributors. So everything is the same as the prior months. And then on top of it, there's this extra 9.64 million that gets unlocked for contributors. Maybe I'm wrong, but I have to imagine that the overwhelming majority of those contributors are going to rush to dump this token as soon as their tokens unlock. So I opened up a short this morning. We'll see. I'm not a financial advisor. Shorts are very risky. Please don't trade with leverage unless you've been there, done that, and only trade with leverage from positions, especially if you're using cross margin from an account from with funds in that margin account that you can afford to see go to zero, because it can happen. You never know. Like I didn't like my liquidation level is like 8 cents, which doesn't. I mean, it'd be a pretty big leap from where it's at today, but it was there like a month ago, and there could be a manufactured pump going into this unlock, and if that happens, my margin account will get zeroed out. I don't expect that to happen. I do expect the sell off and the dump, but you just never know. So be safe. And but that's sharing the trade I just opened up before the show. This Magic Eden short. It's solely I know nothing about what the position Magic Eden's in. I know they pivoted to more of like an on-chain casino and iGaming, and while that market is huge, my thesis here is I'm just trading the unlock. I'm trading this significant 10 million is not that significant in crypto in the world of unlocks, but for a token that's down 50% in the last month, and then this is this size is 20x almost what their normal unlock is, caught my attention, and so we are putting my money where my mouth is, and we'll cross my fingers. but good luck to anyone out there trading in this market. It is it's volatile on almost every front. So as with anything, just don't ever extend yourself, especially if you are especially if you're trading with any sort of leverage. Don't get too crazy. Good spot to paper trade with leverage. There's a lot of trading games out there. Speaking of a lot of trading games, actually, let's do this. 8:36. We got guests joining us soon. What can you TLDR the wallet bans? Mayhem. I saw your post there. There was a whale got his wallets locked for using HTX. Yes, some whale got his wallets locked, but for using HTX. I don't know what else there is to that, but apparently other, which is just a crypto exchange. So what, I guess, why are other exchanges locking accounts or blacklisting accounts for using another crypto exchange? Can you, Mayhem's typing now, so I'll TLDR that in a second. In the meantime, heading to CPI. Looks like we might get a rate hike. Trying to find a good link, something to share with you all here on the screen, but I guess it would help if I type correctly. We are CPI May inflation rose to 4.2%, which did hit it is the highest in 3 years. It's the highest since April of 2023. Not great. Core CPI inflation also rose to 2.9%, which is the highest since September of 25. And inflation in the US is officially back above 4%, more than double the Fed's target. So yeah, we might actually, it is just so wild. Like, it seems like yesterday, me included, talking about, like, I was convinced we were getting at least one rate cut this year, if not multiples. In fact, I mean, in hindsight, I'm glad I did walk, because the market has continued to dump, the real estate market, that is. But for those who've been around, I was in contract on a home, a project, a investment property, and I was supposed to close into December, and ended up, I just decided to walk from it. Did not feel, but for many reasons. I won't go into all the details again, but decided to walk for many reasons. One of the reasons was I felt that we were due for, I thought we were due for a bounce in 2026. And I thought part of that bounce would be at least one rate cut was all near certainty. But I was thinking 2 was likely. So we went from me and others thinking we'd get 2 rate cuts in 2026 to forget 2 rate cuts. We're probably not getting a rate cut. And with this inflation coming in hot again, we might actually be getting rate hikes. What went wrong? To quote the legendary Franklin is bored. What went wrong? DL Leader, thanks for dropping an article on HTX. This is actually from As Required. I'll pin that up top if anyone wants to do further reading. He shared this last night. And guilty by withdrawal, banned from Hyperliquid for using a top 10 centralized exchange. He quotes Zach XPT, says, risk itself becomes meaningless. Actually, let me, I'll pull this up on screen, and we'll do a quick read through while we prep for our special guest here to join us. But thanks for sharing this, DL Leader. This is helpful. Here is, I gave you the TLDR. Now here's the R for those that actually want to read or listen to me read. It says on June 2nd, this is from As Required. On June 2nd, connected my public Ethos network wallet to the official Hyperliquid front end and was met with the following message in a red banner. Your address has been flagged as a high risk by a third-party screening tool. This front-end interface does not support connection to Hyperliquid blockchain by high-risk addresses. If you think this is an error, you can open a support ticket. I check another wallet. I see the same message. Understandably, I'm in shock and a bit of panic. I've been an organic on-chain user for years. I've never done anything shady. I remember Mixima Crypto faced the same issue at the end of March and was later unbanned after opening a Discord ticket, so I did the same. On June 3rd, I received the following message referencing these two things. It turns out that on May 26th, the UK sanctioned Hubi Global SA for allegedly providing services to a sanctioned Russian payment network. This links a Bloomberg article. Cryptocurrency firm HTX has been sanctioned by the UK government, who alleged that the exchange was part of infrastructure used by Russia to circumvent sanctions, allegedly move 1.5 billion back to Kremlin. I've been an HTX user long before the sanctions, had no knowledge of them until this message from on June 3rd. I think to myself, surely this is resolvable. I happened to use the wrong sex at the wrong time. I search up sanctions on Twitter, and the severity of the situation dawns on me. All wallets that have deposited or have withdrawn from HTX Global after May 26th are now considered sanctioned. This means depositing into sexes from these wallets will result in your assets being frozen. Oh, DeFi protocols using chain analysis, elliptical, or TRM labs will deny service to these wallets. By extension, these wallets are blacklisted from airdrops by DeFi protocols. Any wallets that these sanctioned wallets send are also considered sanctioned. Wow. Man, that's brutal for those impacted. So, I mean, we talk about protocol risk, smart contract risk. We don't often talk about sanction risk, but tough for those that got impacted by this, who were using HTX. Now, again, I've never been an HTX user. Doesn't impact me directly. I would be curious, like, why are you using HTX? There's a lot of other credible centralized exchanges out there. Why use this one? Maybe it's a regional location thing. I don't know. But the issue here is this user can no longer access their funds on Hypercore or use Hypercore, but all previous activity is for naught. Banned wallets have years of activity, 210 million, 60,000 in fees paid, top 200 ranking, top 50 ranking, 50K builder fees, dozens of builder apps, and thousands of Hyper EVM transactions. That's I can't imagine the frustration there. So no future airdrops. Hopefully he's able to at least sort out and get their, remove funds that this user had, but tough. Today it's him and HTX. Tomorrow it's you and Mexi. The day after all this, it's Binance. The US has accused Binance of the exact same crime that the UK accused HTX of. Yeah, I mean, I guess the takeaway is here is just, when you're thinking about thanks, Oxy. Yeah, and I guess as required, open invite. We probably don't have time to get into it today. We do have a guest joining us here in just a minute, and then another guest right after that. But yeah, if anyone wants to hear further, he was on Modern Market today, so you can go back and catch that recording after the show. And maybe if as required wants to join us in the future, we'd be happy to do the deeper dive. But man, what a tough break. Not great. That is that's challenging. Go ahead, Iceman.
Just a quick update, real quick. Second target, 0 for 2. 0 for 2. Yeah, I believe the for people that haven't made their way to the stores to stock the shelves yet. So.
Yep, probably. Now, did you ask the employees if there's any in the back?
I did on the first one. I'm actually getting ready to walk up to customer service now to see, just in case. If not, I'm headed to Dick's.
I didn't realize Dick's was getting them.
Yeah, Dick's Sporting Goods, Target, GameStops.
Very cool. There is that store locator on the website as well. Just if you were new, Phonics adds a lot of AML detecting stuff is BS. Fluffles flagged his wallet for AML just because he deposited in a crypto casino. And once you're flagged, it's really tough to get unflagged. Yeah, that another reason to keep your wallets completely separate. And think about when you're connecting multiple wallets to something like Ethos to verify everything that's you. You know, all of your wallets, wallet segmentation for more reasons than just OPSEC, for instance. Machiavelli, go ahead. We got a quick one, and then we're going to bring in Ernest.
Yeah. So those Chrome boxes are going to be available at GameStop today as well. Now, will they what is the retail on those things? I was wondering if anybody knew that, or like they automatically going to be being sold for more right off the bat.
So the mega boxes are $59.95, I believe, and the blaster boxes are $30. eBay, I think they're double right now on eBay. The hobbies, I think, are going to be at your local card shops and not at the retail stores. And those were going for like $250 MSRP, and probably, I don't know, $350 to $400 by the time they hit shelves at the LCS.
Okay, so the big boxes are $250 MSRP. Like that's the regular price.
I believe that's what it was. Yeah. With my series 1, I was only able to get megas because I didn't have the gift code or the spec. So
good luck to everyone going for this today. I'm sure we'll talk tomorrow. Since we're dozen less time we're going to get in today, we'll do some pack rips tomorrow for anyone that does secure any. And I've got my eyes on the that 86 football. I want one of those. Shiba King got Lightning Round. I got back-to-back guests here. First guests are in the green room. So if you got like something for 20, 30 seconds, go ahead. If not, we can come back to you after we get to our guests.
Nope, didn't want to be rude, and I'm gonna just jump down and come back up later. But I just want to say hello. Market shit. I was just listening to your little wrap up, and I agree with you. Didn't think we would get 3 hikes probably in a row the rest of the year, but it is what it is. Shift to Pokemon slabs, maybe. But interested to hear from the guests. Also, GM, everybody.
Yeah, it's actually fitting to talk about Pokemon slabs. I mean, our friends at Unvault, I think, have some exciting stuff to explore, to potentially make money on chain that's different to what you're not ebb and flowing with the majors and the geopolitical stuff on a day-to-day basis. And then our guest following them is in that world of Pokemon slabs and more. So,
perfect.
Yep, should be a good one. Don't go anywhere. As I mentioned, our second guest might have a giveaway or two, and our first guest here have something big dropping this month. I do also kind of setting something up before the end of the show today, talking FIFA World Cup and Kraken. Kraken's the main sponsor this year, and we haven't really talking about all these promotions and contests and free to enter. I don't know. Do we think Kraken actually will being a main sponsor of such a major world global event like this, will it do anything for onboarding retail? I'm curious what sort of activations Kraken might have at the World Cup this year to get people set up with wallets and whatnot. But
I have no idea to this very minute when you said something.
Yeah, right. I haven't seen it either until just this morning. It was the first I saw. Looks like there's a line outside of the Houston Target. That's interesting. This drop is creating quite the buzz. All that being said, this is Inside the Vault, brought to you by Unvault.
Yo, inside the vault, put royalties back on chain. Enforcement went optional, we bringing it back again. Freeze it at the source, then you move it with ease. Claim it where you land, one live, no duplicate keys. No rappers, no doubles, identity stays intact. Clean ownership trail, royalties paid, that's a fact. No, one live, no duplicate keys.
All right, welcome back to Coffee with Captain Ernest and Aaron. GM, I know it's bright and early for Aaron out there. Before we get into all things Unvault, I did send you both. Oh, we got it. Okay, cool. I got to ask, Aaron, have you seen Master of the Universe?
Yes.
Thoughts, scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to recommend it to a friend, family, or a colleague?
6.
6. Ooh, not that great, huh?
I enjoyed it, but it was a little, like, I'm a comedian. It was a little too goofy. I thought that I liked the goofiness of it. I thought the character of Adam, who's He-Man, no spoilers there, could have been a little less goofy, and I was hoping that this was going to be like the male Barbie, right? Same company. Barbie was fantastic. Barbie, like, and if you're a dude sitting there like, oh, Barbie, if you haven't seen it, see it. It's a fantastic film. And I was expecting this to be like the masculine version of that. Like, it's okay to be a big, strong dude and, blah, blah, blah. It was okay. Great performances. There were parts that were funny. Glad I saw it, but I was expecting more. So there you go.
Mayhem went to see it, I think, on opening day. Similar feedback. He enjoyed it. He's kind of what it was expected. He did say it was a little extra cheesy, or they kind of leaned into that. And I also saw from a critique standpoint that, to your point, same producers as the Barbie movie, and they attempted to kind of run back that same playbook, and yet the overwhelming majority of people for opening weekend were people our age. So the nostalgia was there, but failing to attract a younger audience. And that's where, the sell-through is. That's where the toys are sold. That's where the growth is. And doesn't seem to have landed with the
younger audience. Could have been better. It was okay. Could have been better. Weirdly enough, too many fisting jokes. So yes, that was my reaction as well. If you're listening here and you're not watching Cap on video, his eyes kind of, he did that sort of meme of the guy like, oh, and I am not even kidding. Too many fisting jokes.
Interesting. So, you have me a perfect segue to introduce Ernest. You were talking like male Barbie and right. And now I'm trying to segue from a fisting joke, and I'm not sure it's appropriate or how I'm going to get there. But
wait, before we say hi to the very rugged looking Ernest, who has a beard now. For those
I think it's a good look.
It looks great. He looks great. Speaking of Kraken, did you see, this is not a joke, by the way, did you see the finals and who the Spurs had on their jersey?
A Ledger, right?
Yes, Ledger.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe we're not dead yet.
Yeah, and the Spurs are going to win the championship. So Spurs in 7. I want to see 7 games. Mayhem agrees the fisty jokes were weird. It says Fisto, he fists people. I did not expect this from
one joke would have been okay, right? Like one joke, the way that they justified the characters' names was funny, but then they could have stopped. That's my, I won't give any spoilers, although you're not going to see it anyway, but that was my thing. Yes, I agree with that, Diablo. I was going to say like Magnum PI. Ernest is like a Magnum PI right now.
He's reminding me of good morning. Reminding me of my I've got 2 nephews, 9 and 12, and the 9-year-old, while despite being born in Ohio, you would think he was born on an island somewhere. I'm not going to share pictures because I don't know. I mean, my brother posts them on social media every once in a while, but I don't think he's ever posted them on X, so not my place. But yeah, picture he shipped me yesterday. They're in Costa Rica this week vacationing. And he's got like very similar shirt as Ernest. It's unbuttoned. He's got, he's completely unbuttoned. He's got a shark tooth necklace on. And Ernest reminding me of my nephew who's should have been born in Ireland. I'm not gonna try to segue from the Fister jokes. You did also mention something about making things better. So that's the best I've got for a segue. Is speaking of making things better, Ernest and Aaron and Unvault making the NFT space better, bringing back royalties, launching a new market chase, helping teams mint on multi-chain and mint and much more. And I know we've been through a bunch of security audits. We just had Fable drop yesterday, so maybe we're running it back through to just double check we're not at risk for Mythos or any of the new AI overlords out there. But Ernest, GM, always a pleasure.
Yeah, good morning.
What's the latest with Unvault? What do we have to be excited for here in the next week or so?
Well, we recently got the first or second round of notes back from Quit, and Aaron was saying on our space yesterday that he saw the list and he was like, oh man, this is going to take a while, and we had the morning meeting. We have a morning dev meeting every morning, And they said, no, we got all that taken care of. That was easy. So
Yeah, we're basically waiting for the master of audits to get done. We have a couple more things to give them, but that's what it is. Cap, I wanted to. I know that we don't have a lot of time because of your horrible scheduling. Okay, so I wanted.
So wait, I want to say something on this. Aaron complains about your horrible scheduling. I'm on the same time zone,
right?
So.
No, I'm not talking about his horrible scheduling with making us on the West Coast 5:45 a.m. I'm talking about how he went back to back with guests, probably on purpose. His staff was probably like, Aaron talks too much. We got to put a guest right next to him. But because we don't have a lot of time, I wanted to just get to the nitty gritty of why your audience, whom a lot of them are my friends, should give a shit about what we're doing. Okay, and this is not a morality play about royalties. This is the exciting degen, going to be like good old selfishness, right? Which I am saying is a good thing here. So here's the deal, right? And I'm not going to get into too many details, but here's what's going to happen when we launch. You're going to be able to mint a bug, maybe. Okay, we have a collection called Bugs. You're going to be able to mint a bug. A Bugs, I guess. Okay, that Bugs NFT, which, by the way, Molly, aka Red Goat Queen, is doing the art. They're beautiful. They make me smile. They're really. I told Ernest I don't like them. I love them. Okay,
yeah, Molly, she does great work.
She has outdone herself. They are the rewards card of Unvault. Okay, so you want to get one, and you want to get one of the first ones because they're a bit special. All right. So why do you want to get one? Well, the main reason is because when you get one, you can start to stack rewards. Okay. What kind of rewards? When you mint, the projects coming off of our Unvault Launchpad, and we're talking about First Class Frenchies, we're talking about Blowies, we're talking about Buckaroos in the Block, etc. You will get a minter's bonus. Okay, your bug will remember the minter's bonus. What the fuck is a minter's bonus? Okay, a minter's bonus says, okay, you minted these, I don't know, 100 NFTs, as opposed to them sitting in their wallet laughing at you because, like, what are you going to do with them, right? If you let them go, you sell them, okay? You, as a reward, and it depends on what the collection says, but you, as a reward, will get to realize a certain percentage of the royalties every time the motherfucker sells. Okay? Now, Ernest can fill in, legal, whatever later, but that's the gist of it, right? So let's say you over the course of 6 months, you mint 50 things. You mint 100 things, whatever. Some of them are free mint, some of them are $1, some of them are $100, whatever it is. Your bug remembers, just like Pepperidge Farm, your bug remembers your minting bonuses. And so what do? Your new favorite game is watch your wallet, because your bug is filling it up with rewards, aka cryptocurrency, because if that stuff sells, you're realizing a percentage of it as a reward. And then here's the crazier thing. Let's say that you have all these rewards and you're like, oh, too many rewards on this bug. I should probably sell it. Well, you can. You can sell the Bugs NFT, and all of the rewards, the minting bonuses, and anything else attached to it goes with it. So one, you could be a bug hunter, and you can buy bugs with rewards, or you can sell it if people are like, holy shit, you have minting rewards on that collection, which is like on fire, and you can sell it. So that's the deal. Besides the fact that, yes, we're a royalty first, artist first, collector first platform, that's the thing that I'm most excited about, are the bugs, the minting rewards, and the minting on the platform.
I love the rewards. I also love this idea of baking in loyalty rewards programs into NFTs. And for many reasons, I'll shout out Steve's everything token. You can't see it due to where the Just how I got the camera right now. But this concept is very real. Some companies have made attempts. I think about like what RecCoin has done with their Rec token, or Rec Drinks has done with their RecCoin. But what you just said is like, you not only does it lead to a better loyalty rewards program, and one where you're not just limited to there's no blackout dates, you're not just limited to that platform itself. You can theoretically you can cash out your rewards and use them on anything, or sell your rewards. Like it's just it opens up a whole new world. And while talking specifically NFT mints here, I think this is something that as the space moves forward, as more companies come on chain and start accepting stable coins and just start getting more into crypto, I think this is one of the, in my opinion, inevitabilities that we'll see more and more on-chain loyalty rewards programs. And a lot of what you're doing here is reasons why. An exciting time for minting rewards and sharing in those not just royalties, but you think about, just a quick glimpse at the current market. This is sort of by 24-hour volume. Yes, pudgies and apes are higher dollars, so they've got a 6 figures in trading fees, but non-playable characters, 0.079, new mints, up 16% on the day. Pattern retrieval, new mint. Normies, relatively new mint. The globs, new mint. Pillas, new mint. Privacy Matters, this is an X copy mint that went out yesterday. It's up a minute for 0.15. It's a quick 2X for anyone that had a allow list there. Reorder, this is Dario De Siena's new project. It's up 46% of the day. Again, new mint. So of the top, I don't know, what are they, 10, 15 there, it feels like almost, third, if not half of them are new mints. And not only are they trading above floor price, they're also, they're getting like real volume. So these rewards, it's not nothing, and it could very well add up. And I think it's one of these things, like I'm personally, I think of all that Unvault is enhancing, moving forward in the NFT space, from these bug rewards to the multi-chain mints. I'm probably still most excited about the royalty enforcement and then the ability to share those royalties, but really doing a lot with the platform, and excited to. I think a lot of some people might say, oh, the timing is rough because the market seems to be bleeding out every day from a major standpoint, but I actually think it's good timing for you guys to launch, because new NFT mints are popping off like we haven't seen in a while. The attention's there. And I think a lot of people that are still here, they're active participants. While it might be a smaller pool of participants, they're looking for things to do. They're looking for new things to explore. It's when things aren't ripping, you get people that will explore new protocols, new things. And yeah, I'm excited for this launch. I think it's going to end up timing up pretty well for you all.
Thank you. But I want to talk about, and I'm going to let Ernest get in there in a second. We're timeless, Cap. Okay, like I don't care about the timing. Yeah, we think about it a little bit, but Cap, you and I and a lot of your audience, we've been here since 21, maybe before that, 22 for some of us, right? I'm 21, but it doesn't matter. We just see a need and we build, and then we hope that people understand what we're doing and come on. Yes, are there pockets of, oh my God, everything is crazy, and oh my God, everything's terrible? Sure, but we're not timing it. We're just doing what is necessary. Ernest, your floor.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited about the Minters bonus. I'm also excited. Like we haven't figured out exactly what we're going to do, but we're going to have other bonuses for activity on the website. So buying and selling NFTs and those kinds of things. That activity will be rewarded through the rewards program, through the bugs. And then you touched on it for a second, but it's something that's kind of an exclamation point for me is the fact that you can sell your bug. And so if you're a dummy like me that max minted everything in the last 2 years, and I have all these rewards sitting on a bug, well, I might have lost money on the NFTs, but I could sell the bug, and the bug's earning rewards. And yeah, that'd be great.
Yep. Very cool. I'm excited for it. I know, getting those audits back quickly, do we have an updated ETA on when bugs might be here, when Unvault might, and is bugs going to go live the same day Unvault goes live, or will those be different? Okay.
Yeah, it'll go live when
yeah, in terms of ETA, it's if it was up to us, yesterday. I'm very happy with our dev team's progress. They're basically almost done with everything, and it is basically waiting on. I don't want to say waiting on Quit like he's not doing an amazing job. I mean, like, Quit is going to take the time he needs to take to make sure that everything is safe and secure for everybody using our platform, and we want him to take that time. So he's delivered us the EVM audit on the marketplace. He has the Divot and Unvault contracts for EVM, and then next comes Solana, and then we're opening. So no, I don't know. It's depends on when Quit is done, and again, that's not saying Quit should rush. It's just saying that
and it depends on when the team is done responding to the things that come up in audit. So
yeah, I mean, but like you said, that was very quick.
It was.
Yeah,
it was. To date, it's been really quick. And then we're excited about the first round of mints as well. I mean, truly, I mean, you've had other projects that minted some on Solana and they minted some on Ethereum, and now they're two different projects. This is truly a cross-chain mint where you mint a token, an NFT, and you decide what you pay with, and you decide where it sits on which chain.
And it's exciting, but people need to realize that means that you are competing in the mint with everybody on those chains. And so it means that you want to get your bug, and your bug also, if you're active, allows you to mint first. Okay. So you get your bug, you stay active on Unvault, and then you get to mint these mints first, which means that you get the minter's bonus as opposed to some other person. So it is not like sit back and it's a slow time for mints. This is everybody is competing. And Ernest, and we're not going to talk about it now because I know we have to go, but I thought you were going to mention the tradable AMMs, which we're not ready to talk about yet. So we'll have to leave that for another time. But for anybody
for next week.
Yeah, for anybody who understands what I'm talking about, there really aren't any tradable AMMs right now, but we can't talk about it right now. We're not ready to talk about it yet.
Yeah, good tease for next week. Excited to have you guys back. Always a pleasure. And if you're just hearing about Unvault for the first time today, their account is up on stage. Go give that main account a follow. They're hosting another space tomorrow afternoon. You can jump in there. Team's very responsive. And if this is exciting to you, if you're planning an NFT mint soon, you're doing yourself an injustice not to at least talk to the Unvault team and see how they might be able to help. There's no pressure. You don't have to work with them, but you should at least explore, find out more details about what they're launching, and don't do yourself the injustice and your community by not at least considering what Unvault has going live here very soon.
Grave injustice. Thanks, Cap.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. I was trying to think of a proper joke to send you off with, but I'm not even going to go there. We're just going to let that He-Man stuff sit, and maybe we'll think of a good one for next week. But as always, appreciate you guys. Have a great day today. Go give that Unvault account a follow, and we'll be back next Wednesday for another Inside the Vault brought to you by Unvault. Thanks again, gentlemen.
Bye.
Thanks, quick segue from one guest right into another. Not often that we do this, but I'm excited to bring on Jonah from DYLI. We had the Klanos blind box on DYLI recently. We had the DYLI account. I think it's would have been my first time using DYLI, and I was impressed with the platform. You guys have really done a great job gamifying it. I was in there this morning checking my daily claim. I did not do the spin. I thought I would wait until we got live on stream here to do so I could show those who weren't familiar. We could do a spin. But before we jump into DYLI and all that you all are building over there, do you mind sharing a little bit of, just by way of introduction, sharing some background about yourself? Anything you're comfortable sharing, anything you'd like to share, whether prior to crypto, how you found crypto, what led you to DYLI, and any intro, any background story you'd like to share with the audience today. GM, welcome. Appreciate your patience as we got started.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I mean, so I'm Jonah. I've been in this space for quite a while. And actually, before we built DYLI, we ran a development agency. So probably the most fun thing I've ever worked on in the blockchain space was we supported Truth Arts in all of their endeavors, most notably being Goblin Town.
Yeah.
Which was a blast. And we're still friends with them to this day. You know, actually one of the first drops we did on DYLI back in the day was for Vinyl Grumples, which are opening for redemption finally today. Very long production process, but the cutest little 4-inch and 8-inch like Grumple toys. If anyone's familiar with Goblin Town, Grumples have phenomenal voluptuous butts. It's a great desk toy or, you know, collectible toy. But anyway, that's beside the point. So we've been building in the space for a while, but we wanted to kind of pivot to build our own thing that ultimately became DYLI. There's the Grumples. So those are actually now redeemable. They exist. They're gorgeous. And they're actually, you know, the secondary markets, you know, we can get into like what makes DYLI special, but the secondary markets are really well priced right now. If anyone's looking for a little desk companion.
Very cool. So I got to ask real quick on that one. Cause yeah, that was, you taking me back to, while it was it was the depths of a bear when they first launched. I vividly remember being at, would have been VCon, can't remember VCon 1 or VCon 2. The years are running together. But it was at a VCon when it dropped, and you know, our chats are talking about it. I missed out on the free mint because we were at a conference and doing the inner life thing. But were you working with them even before mint? Were you one of like a handful of people who even knew who was behind Goblin Town, or was it they come out?
Oh yeah, we did. We even did Illuminati. So we've been with them. We were part of the team. We were with them the entire time. Pretty much anything that was like Web3 dev went through us at the time. So
Very cool.
all the good stuff and all the bad stuff. Any bugs were also our fault. But that, you know, that just comes with the territory. So anyway, that's our
bugs. It seemed, from what I remember, pretty seemed to be pretty buttoned up on all their tech stuff. From my memory, from my recollection, I do have
Goblin Town certainly was.
Yeah.
But every now and then there's always something. You got to make lemonade with lemons. So
Right.
I'm glad that there was a lot of lemonade to go around. No, it was amazing. But yeah, so I mean, we've just been building a lot in the space, but we're really excited to be building for ourselves now, especially with something that we really care about and have a lot of fun with. And it's great that we're able to bring these partners along with us and help them bring physical products to market in a really cool way.
Very cool.
I also have dogs and a wife, and
what kind of dogs?
yeah, I want to be better at golf. I'd like to say it's a hobby, but I'm so bad I probably shouldn't. My dogs, one is a Bichon Frise Poodle mix who's 15. He's ancient. I love him, but he's slowing down, and it's sad. And then the other one is this like rescue mutt monster. He's like a Havanese mixed with a monkey or something. It's crazy. His legs are so long. And he's a wild child, but we like him.
Fun.
Yeah.
I am speaking of golf, I actually thought recently I was cleaning, just picking up the garage, like I need to get out on the golf course. I moved to Florida like 6 years ago, and I've been to the driving range once. And I don't know if I've ever said this out loud, but I think the reason I don't golf more, or haven't golfed in years, is because I'm so competitive. I'm just a competitive person. I hate to suck at things. And golf is one of those sports where I know how to swing a golf club. I know the fundamentals of the game, but unless I'm like playing 4 or 5 times a week, it's just like it's not like riding a bike. Like you can, and like I'll, get out there, I hit a great tee shot, and then the next tee shot I slice it 100 yards into the next fairway. It's a very humbling sport. And so last time I was playing on any sort of semi-regular basis, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to go out there. I'm not going to break par today. I'm not even going to break 80. I'm just going to go have fun and embrace. I'm not going to get, I'll enjoy and appreciate the good shots, but if I shank a few, which will happen, it is what it is. And, but yeah, and then so like, I'm fine with that. I say it out loud. I'm fine with it, but I do think that's part of the reason that's kept me off the golf course is I know I'd stink it up if I went out there and tried to play 18 today.
If you're worried about breaking 80, you're doing just fine.
Well,
you're doing just fine.
But, my problem is I grew up with golfers. Like I have 2 brothers who were golfers. One is was stepbrother, but he's like a scratch golfer. And then I went to Ohio State, and my dorm's freshman year, right next door to me was a golfer on the Ohio State team. He actually was my roommate my sophomore year. So it was like, 24/7 they're swinging their wedge indoors and picking divots out of our carpet. And We were playing like back in the day, like $20 skins on Tiger Woods golf. And it's like I was around the game, Golf Channel on 24/7. Like I really had a deep understanding of how to play the game. And when I go out there and shoot 100, I'm like, this is such a frustrating sport. Anyways, probably didn't come here to talk about golf today, but
I could.
Joking, this conversation is probably at least going to get me to the range. If not, it's due time. I need to at least dust off the clubs and make sure they still work.
Yeah,
but
that's awesome.
all that said, let's jump into DYLI here. Excited to talk about this platform. Excited to explore it more. Self-admittedly, I just checked. Yeah, I have one of the the not Popkins, the Klanos blind box that I have not yet redeemed. I don't even know they're on here.
They're not open yet. So it was a pre-sale, so they're making them now.
Perfect. So I haven't missed anything. Yeah. I'm good with
you haven't missed a thing.
I'm good with the box for now.
That's right.
But
but you're gonna have a choice, right? You're gonna have to decide to have it mailed to you or to have us live rip it on a stream for you.
Which is very cool. Maybe let's start right there. Tell us about that, because I think maybe it's not unique to DYLI, but it's the first time I'm familiar with this. Even seeing like your live rips, like this is I think a differentiating factor. And we'll get to anything and all that you want to share related to the platform, but maybe let's start with the live rips. Tell us about that, because I think that is a pretty cool differentiating feature you guys all have.
Yeah, I mean, like the concept of live rips more broadly is certainly not unique, right? Like Whatnot built like a $11 billion monster on the idea. But the way we do it might be a little unique in that actually right now it's exclusively submissions of items you already own, right? So imagine, what DYLI is a collectibles ecosystem where, we use blockchain to create convenience and like supercharged features that create value for a collector, no matter what you're collecting. Could be TCG, could be whatever. Live rips is the opportunity, no matter where you are in the world, to get inside of sealed products, whether it's a toy, trading cards, or whatever. You could be buying that during a stream, but you could also just have a sealed item in your collection that you'd like opened.
Very cool.
And so, we obviously have a ton of trading card streams, but we also do we do the Moonbirds toys. We do the Pudgy Penguins mystery boxes. We're going to be doing the Klanos toys once we receive them. And really what it does, especially for the IPs, is, this was really demonstrated well with Pudgy because we already did that. But you've got this global community that loves your IP. They love your brand. They rep it, right? They're wearing the PFPs. They buy all the merch. And physical goods are very hard to celebrate as a community, right? Yep. You get it mailed to you. Maybe you can post some content, get some likes, some views. But the enjoyment of that is very personal because, your best friend might live across the world when it comes to this community. Live rips, when they're scheduled events, create community moments around these physical goods, even if it's global, which is really awesome. So like when we did, and the second one was just as strong, but when we did the first Pudgy Penguins live rip, there was only like 7,000 boxes sold. So you imagine there's some subset of 7,000 people that own boxes and care about these items. I think we maxed out at 16,000 viewers of that stream.
Wow.
And when we're hitting cool stuff, everyone's like cheering in the chats. Everyone's having fun. Like it's a real community moment around these physical items, no matter where you are in the world. So whether it's trading cards or toys or whatever, the live rips create fun when you would otherwise maybe just be unboxing this on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously there's convenience around it too, right? If you live somewhere crazy in the world and you don't know if what's inside is something you actually want, like you can open it and not have to deal with what's inside, and you can list it for sale right on DYLI. Because what we do is we don't rip and ship, we rip and digitize. So
love it. Anything
you get stays digital, stays in our warehouse. You can have it redeemed, you can list it for sale. We're all about removing the friction in your collectibles experience. And whether that experience is flipping, buying and selling, buying and holding, like whatever it is that you want to do as a collector, it should be more simple and more convenient on DYLI.
Mm-hmm.
And live rips is like a manifestation of that.
I love it, man. Great. Well done. And I'm not just saying it, like what attracted me to this space in the first place was the how much friction NBA Top Shot removed from collectible cards. I'd gotten back into collectible cards during the pandemic, and then long story short, but I got introduced to Top Shot. Like this just makes sense. Ripping packs, it was fun. It was the same. Like I didn't care about the cards, but I did care about the cards. I collected cards as a kid, and then as an adult, it was like I like the chase. I like the dopamine. I want to rip, and I want to chase for a grail. I want to hit on a, and then what I found would happen is even when I did hit on a, I didn't do anything with it. I'd put it in a sleeve and it just sat there. Like I didn't have an eBay account. I wasn't a power seller, so it's like the idea of actually flipping them and then going back and forth and pick packing and shipping it and then dealing with it was just like wasn't interested. And when this idea of digitizing these things, it just made a lot of sense. And then the thing that really resonated with me, because you talk about like the Moonbirds toys, so maybe a curveball, maybe a tough question for you, because that was one thing when I got those, like, okay, great. I got these, I got my Burb token allocation. What am I gonna do with these 12 vinyls? They're just sitting back there on display now. I don't really, like maybe one or two, but I don't need 12 of them. If I'm understanding right, I could, if this happens today, I could rip it here and then I don't even have to take possession. I could unbox it and then still keep it digitized in a vault on DYLI, right?
That's right. And particularly with the toys, because we have like thousands of Moonbird toys on our platform. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of weird to say, but the commons, there's less demand for them for obvious reasons. You only need one, right? You don't need 20. Exactly. And a lot of people got 20, right? You rip hundreds of boxes, you're going to get a lot of the same thing over and over again. Something that we do is we have a feature called trade-ins, which is you give us your stuff and we just give you our currency, diamonds, back. And with toys in particular, so sometimes you trade stuff into me and I'll sell it, right? Like if I get something cool and I trade in, I'll do something with it. Toys, we donate all toys that get traded in. We don't resell them. So with Moonbirds in particular, if you ripped 20 boxes, you only want 3 of the toys, then we have 17 of these little models that we can give to, kids at the Ronald McDonald House or Boys and Girls Club or something. So there's also this opportunity to kind of like, recycle the, really nice quality toys and items that you don't really necessarily want and that you don't need a financial gain from, right? You got your dopamine, you got the toy you wanted, and the rest can go to somebody else. And that's really cool too. So we do allow trade-ins on everything, but in particular, our toy trade-ins are exclusively for donations.
Very cool. Well, the curveball question with that is just using that Moonbirds vinyl, the toy drop as an example. Part of the reason people bought 20 was because they knew there was going to be a QR code in there. There was going to be a way to redeem for Burb. Is that possible? Is there a way for open it, not have to take possession, but I can get my Burb allocation. I can get that code or, whatever their mechanism is. But yet then the toy just stays with you all. Is that a possibility?
That's the baseline for Moonbirds is we rip, we show your collectible card, we digitize your card and your toy. And we have everyone's emails and stuff. It's like when you join our platform, you receive it's either, depends on how we feel that day. It's either a PDF or a video of all of your QRs. That's awesome. One person, there's one user, Spida, by himself. We ripped over 1,000 boxes for Spida. He got a lot of QR. Here's the problem. We gave him his QRs. He still had to sit there and scan 1,000 QRs. So I don't know how long that took. But yeah, listen, if there's stuff in these boxes and there's, things of that nature, like we'll find a way to like make it work and get that to you. The beautiful thing about QRs is we don't have to mail those. Like we can just send you a photo and you just have to trust me not to scan it first, which don't worry, I won't.
I love it. Jumping around a little bit here, but there's a lot to get into on this, on your platform. A lot of, I think, unique stuff, exciting stuff. One that I just saw in the header here was, and I don't know if I can find it again, but it was basically, we were talking about eBay, and I was talking about the friction that goes along with buying and selling there. And this one I think is my first time seeing this. Buy on eBay, vault on DYLI. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so if you see the tab on the left, eBay listings, if you click it, all you'll see is PSA Vault out of convenience.
Okay.
But on the right, you'll see a blue button, want to add a seller. So the way eBay works is it is a lawless land full of crazy nonsense. but we can help collectibles escape that terrible place, and we can bring them on chain and bring them into a secure ecosystem that creates a lot of value for you and other people who like that collectible. PSA Vault's pretty trustworthy. PSA, they tend to ship what we buy. Everyone else is not. Right? Any given seller could be a mess. They could be selling fakes, whatever. So the way we do this is, if you want to shop Buy It Now on PSA Vault, it's right here. If you want to shop any other seller, and when I say shop, I mean you can pay with Stables, you can do whatever you want. You just need to click that blue button on the right, want to add a seller, drop in their seller link, and you'll see there's a big red thing that's like, we reserve the right to reject anything that comes in as fake. We there's risks involved in shopping from random eBay sellers. It could arrive damaged. Just understand that we're going to do our best for you, and we'll see what happens. And you can put in a link. Their store will come into our site. You can shop their store with Stables and do all of that. And then it will create a vault submission. So you can also mail us all of your crap right now if you wanted to, right? It's a vault submission. It'll create a vault submission. Once we receive everything, we'll verify it, and it'll all end up in your profile straight from eBay and enter our ecosystem. If you buy from PSA Vault, actually, we auto distribute the token to you immediately because we have high trust that they will ship it to us. So that's eBay. We actually will be no timeline. This is like a little bit of alpha, but there will be ways to do all of this on any Shopify store soon as well.
Oh, wow.
So you'll be able to shop pretty much anywhere into a vault instead of to your home to unlock all of the features that we're talking about. And that'll be across trading cards, toys, like whatever. Our goal is to really unlock like the collector experience and collectibles markets. And that requires like having those collectibles be on the rails that make it all possible.
How much of, because to me, it just seems like such a no-brainer for the collectibles market, for collectors out there. I get it. Some people, sometimes you want the actual physical item that you collected. Probably can't see it because the camera, I've got like a really old leather baseball glove back here. It was from my grandfather. Like that's to me, and I'm not selling it. It's just a cool collectible I like to own. But if I were to buy something like that, maybe I want to collect it. Maybe I want to put it, display it, whether it's in the background of a stream or, somewhere in my house. But the majority of the stuff it's more of I believe it's an asset that will appreciate in value, and I'm just going to store it. I don't need to take possession. I just want it stored. And the reality is it's probably a lot safer and secure stored in one of your vaults than it's going to be in my garage, where it's not heat controlled, et cetera, et cetera. How much of the collector market do you feel think similar to what I just described, or is that a crypto native thing? Has our brains been warped due to things like token allocation, or I'm buying 12 of these Moonbird vinyls because I want the Burb token and I'm speculating on it's going to be worth more than I'm paying? How much do you think there's 50%? Is it a small minority of collectors that, or does the overwhelming majority of them want to actually take possession of the physical collectible that they're buying?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start by saying that, we've built DYLI to serve every type of collector. So one behavior that I see very frequently is someone will use DYLI to accumulate a goal, a collection, something. Like maybe it's maybe I saw someone, there was this is kind of weird, but like there was this trading card deck that came out of like FBI's Most Wanted. It had like Bin Laden in it and all these people. If you've ever seen like tweets about like the PSA 10 Bin Ladens, like it's from this trading card deck. Someone accumulated all of the aces in PSA 10 and then had them all shipped at once, right? So we're a tool, you want it in person, it's part of your background, whatever, but you use us to accumulate the full set, make sure you have it the way you want it, and then have it shipped, right? Like people can use us for any particular piece of their collector's experience or the entire one. Another weird example is we've had people vault their entire personal collections with us as they've chosen to opt into a life of being a digital nomad. You just can't move with all your stuff, right? But it has value, it'll appreciate. So why not vault it and then do your thing? You can ultimately settle down, have it all mailed back to you, or enjoy it, from anywhere in the world. We've got beautiful pictures, right? You can show your collectibles from your phone. Now to your question about like the Web3 side versus Web2 and all of that, the customer segments are super broad, right? Like, when like sneaker culture, that, you know, I think a lot of sneakerheads ended up in NFTs, possibly because of Top Shot, but that like predates a lot of what we did in Web3, right? Sneaker culture and flipping sneakers and all of that is like decades old at this point. Imagine if these people were able to buy and sell without the overhead of shipping, without the risk that comes with a bunch of boxes in your garage. If all and not only without the risk, but distributing that liability to me, because if my warehouse floods, I owe you money, right? Whereas if your garage floods, your op is done. So imagine these ecosystems where, you know, we all like complain about scalpers and flippers and all of that, but they create markets, right? Like, and markets are important for you to get access to what you want, right? Especially if you're global. You need a US based scalper to help you get what you want if you're based in Europe, right? So if we can create these frictionless markets that reduce risk, reduce fraud, and reduce cost, right? Because flippers, when they relist, they have to include the shipping cost that they paid to receive the item, right? We see lower prices on DYLI's markets in part because there's no shipping involved, right? So people can resell without having to constantly stack up costs over time. So it really is one of those things where I don't think it's a Web3 exclusive type of mindset. I think it is a core part of collectibles. Not every collector likes it or is part of that side of the market, but it is what creates the market and helps maintain a market. So I think that as a core means that all collectibles markets and collectible communities benefit from having this, but not every collector is going to want to have a fully digital collection all the time. And that's great, because that would also be kind of sad if it was just like massive warehouses around the world and people just on their screens all the time. Like, that's not fun either.
I mean, the option, having the option, right? Like, to your point, there could be someone that they want all the collectibles. They are a collector at heart, and they got a room in their house that's dedicated just to collectibles, but they've decided they're going to be a digital nomad. They're not living in that house. They're going to be on the road for the next 2 to 3 years, and so they can just send it to storage or send it to you guys, and then still be able to if they want to move some of that, if they want to collect more, it removes so much friction from the collecting experience, buying, selling, holding. Let me ask you, what's the model look like? Like, how does, you know, I mentioned, like, if I decide today I want to be a digital nomad and this didn't exist, I'm buying a storage unit or renting a storage unit locally and just putting all my stuff in there. Is there a storage fee? Do you just take a percent of the sale? What is the fee model or the financial model look like for the platform? And if I want to send my collection to you guys and have you vault it, buy and sell from there, how's the fees work?
Totally. So there's a button on the left side of the screen that says ship us your items. And you fill it out, you pay, and you get an address. And that is a one-time payment that is for the life of your storage with us. I'll caveat that I reserve the right to change anything in the future. But right now you'll see at the top, there's TCG toys and, whatever else. And there's fees based on size and weight and all of that. But they're one-time fees. So the idea here is, if you want to send me like some crazy stuff, you're going to pay some fees to do it. And you'll never have to think about it again. This is totally self-service. It has the same kind of, reservations where if we receive something that's damaged, we can reject it. If we receive something and determine that it's fake, we'll reject it. All of those sorts of things. But anybody can ship us their stuff at what I think is super nominal fees, right? And get things involved, get things sort of vaulted. And, it's not insignificant that even if you are holding this for the long term, you're exposed, right? When something's in your storage unit, no one's putting an offer on it. No one even knows it exists. Here, your storage unit can receive offers at any time, and you can accept them at any time. And the settlement is instant, right? The new owner has the item. They can have it shipped right then, whatever. You don't have to go to your storage unit. You don't have to think about it, right? So this also is just an ease of use for the customer segment is like the vaulter, right? You're just storing stuff because you're a hoarder.
Yep.
But now you actually, someone can find value in the things you're hoarding and maybe take some of it off your hands over time.
And
but it's all
significant other
self-service.
who's not a hoarder is not getting upset with you and giving you a hard time over your collectible stash.
Right. And, hypothetically, it could be cheaper because you're not paying a monthly storage fee like you would for a storage unit.
Yeah, for sure. Which are not, I mean, I'm sure that also varies by market, but not cheap. Most storage is not cheap. And anything of any size, you're probably looking at often north of $100 a month to store stuff. I saw this in passing here as I was exploring this page. I saw Vault Pass, $25 a month, removes the minimum, adds a $25 monthly Vault credit. So then that brings my question of what is the minimum? If I wanted to send in some of my collectibles, I want to send in some of my cards, what's
the minimum per vault is $25.
Oh, okay.
Literally the vault pass is essentially free if you're vaulting more than once. So the reason we did a vault pass is people started doing single vaults with 5 tracking IDs, which is a little messy for us. It's a pain to let a vault sit as things are coming in for it. And so, we've changed our policy where every vault needs 1 tracking ID, but that can be painful if, if the minimum is 25 every time, right? Because each shipment might not be $25 worth of stuff. So for those folks, we said, hop on this pass. You're going to prepay $25. You're going to be able to use that against your vaults, and we won't have a minimum on any of your vaults. It's a pure. We lose money on that, right? It's not meant to be a SaaS type subscription that locks in profit. What it's meant to do is serve the within a month, the guy who vaults 40 times, use this pass and please make 40 separate vaults, because it is so hard for me to do. We used to get these massive vaults of so much stuff, and it just wasn't, it was inefficient. So the vault pass is literally there for folks who plan to vault. If you're vaulting more than once a month, the vault pass is literally saves you money, period.
Makes sense. Probably creates a customer too, I'm guessing. Those vault pass members, customers, whatever you refer to them as, they're probably sending more and remaining a DYLI customer than those are just the one-offs, I'm guessing.
We have at least one customer who has, instead of using our eBay feature for, because we don't have a bid sniper live yet, so auctions are not part of it. I am 100% certain once we give you an address, that's your address for shipping stuff. His address is his eBay ship to address for the DYLI vault is his address. I know at least one person that's doing that. And so that person is obviously on a vault pass and is vaulting constantly. But yeah, I mean, everyone's different. The goal of DYLI, which is, I understand it's kind of most people try to target one thing and do it really well. We want to serve the collector at every stage of their experience. We like to say that you can enjoy your entire hobby from your couch 24/7, right? In TCG, you can go from sealed to graded card from your literally from your home. You don't have to do a single thing. Go to sealed, we rip it, you get a card you like, you submit it for grading, we send it in for you, it gets graded, we send back your slab all on the platform without ever leaving. So yeah, the whole point is just to serve the collector at every stage.
I mean, I'm not just blowing smoke or glazing you because we have it on the show, but had this existed when I got back into the collectible arena in, let's say, 2020 or so, I probably would have collected a lot more. The reason I slowed down and stopped because all I was doing was buying. I just wasn't. It wasn't. And I'm trying to use my words carefully because it's not if I see a $20 bill on the sidewalk, I'm picking it up. I'm not stepping over it. It seemed like a lot of effort to go through. You get a card. Oh, I got a card. It's raw. Now I got to send it in for grading. Now I got to wait, go through that timeline, that process, that fee. I get it back. And then I got to get the listing out. And then I got to go back and forth with a dozen messages and then pick, pack, and ship it. It was a lot of work to make, 10 to 20 to $100.
Maybe lose money if eBay gets with their ad fee.
Exactly. You pay 13% eBay fees. You're underwater. It's man, it wasn't, it was a lot of work, time, energy, and effort. And then, there's no guarantee you're actually going to make money. And this is all that being said, really impressive operation. It's much bigger, much more robust than I initially thought you all were when so I guess it was the Moonbirds would have been the first time. And then I have a couple of those Klanos blind boxes wasn't fully aware of all that you're doing. How big is the team? It seems like this is, I mean, it's a really impressive infrastructure. As we just talked about, there's a lot of work that goes into a lot, if not all these steps in the process. How big is the DYLI team? And can you speak more to like your operations, your infrastructure? Because in my head, it's getting bigger and bigger as we continue to talk.
It is a little crazy. Core team of full-time staff is still the 3 co-founders. However, we have a massively growing team of part-time folks that some of them we're about to bring full-time because they're just absolutely crushing. Our warehouse now is 5, going to be a 6-person team over there. All of this is possible because we run our own warehouse, right? We don't 3PL. In fact, we actually offer 3PL services to other folks in the collectibles universe, right? There's a lot of companies that their core offering is gotcha machines and sort of like TCG related stuff. At the end of the day, those could be SaaS, right? Like you don't need the overhead if someone else is shipping for you. The problem is most 3PLs aren't built for that. Mm-hmm. And those that are, their fee structures are really high. So we actually offer a 3PL that's like 50% the cost of PSA Vault for like gotcha companies that need it. And it's going really well because we do it anyway for ourselves. And we've got really strong infrastructure and it's all API driven. It's all automated. It's really good. So our warehouse operation is so great. We offer it to technically competitors, but we see our gotcha offering as more of a top of funnel feature to sort of build the collector experience versus being the product itself, right? So we don't really mind that by any means. And frankly, the people we work with are incredible and are really fun. And it's really fun to kind of like, we can like measure people's success by how much we ship for them, right? And everyone is doing great. I mean, everyone kind of like is like stressing about the TCG markets based on shipping rates. Like everyone's just doing better and better. Like we're like our own shipping, the people we ship for, it's just phenomenal. But yeah, so our warehouse operation is growing really fast. Our live shopping operation is growing really fast. We're hiring more live shoppers and more live rippers right now. And soon we will be growing sort of the other side of the office, a couple more engineers, some go-to-market people, marketers. But really, the full time is still 3 guys. So we work around the clock, but not to say that our part time team is not grinding or phenomenal. Everyone who works with us is amazing, and we've been really blessed that so far every single worker we've hired into the warehouse has an interest or a passion in some form of collectible. A lot of TCG, but also sports, and I think that interest also brings like a lot of energy to the day. So it's been awesome.
You mentioned, you talk, I mean, where my brain, you're talking like 3PL and all these services you're providing, doing it with a core team of your 3 founders, working with some part-timers, like, and those that come from the collectible space. Where I was going to go is exactly that, is like, I know there's a lot of 3PL companies out there. My background prior to getting, going full-time back into crypto and Web3 was in the retail world. I was first a Verizon dealer, and then I scaled a phone repair franchise. And in there, we got into the parts arena and distributed parts for a bit. Then we worked with a 3PL partner and ultimately just merged or did a partnership with that was someone that was their core business, was aftermarket parts from a warehousing and a fulfillment standpoint, because it was just such a specialized skill. Like someone, like I'm sure there's some products, some widgets that it doesn't matter what, like anyone could pick, pack, and ship that stuff. Anyone could be your third-party logistics partner. But in something like whether it's phone repair parts or in this case collectibles, I really do feel it's a specialty, right? It's such a specialized niche where if someone's not familiar with it, they could be bringing in something that's fake, something that's not real. They could be damaging something. It just, am I right thinking that you really have a growing market, and one that's, I don't think, a secret anymore, really does give you an advantage to come from the space and to actually be passionate about collectibles and have that both from your founders as well as sounds like the team you're bringing on board, to have that understanding and specialized niche inside of the collectible arena, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the staff needs to understand how to pick and pack, but the storage is also specialized, right? Like we also have some background in retail and e-commerce, and a lot of people know, like if you go to like one of the big 3PLs, like a good example of like a mid-size would be like ShipBob, right?
Mhm.
ShipBob, every SKU gets its own bin no matter what, right? In TCG, what is a SKU? Well, it's each card is a new SKU, right?
Yep.
Like, and you don't need a card in a bin. Like that's crazy, right? Like ShipBob literally cannot take TCG business based on their model, which is fantastic, right? Like
Yep.
the SKUs per bin works for hoodies and whatever. It does not work for TCG. I mean, we're probably almost in excess of 2 million ungraded cards in our space, right? That's ridiculous. How do you deal with that, right? Like that is very specialized, and it does involve like machines and sorters and stuff. But storing it also, like we don't charge people per bin, like we don't charge other like gacha companies like per bin. Like it's all built in. In fact, there's no monthly at all for slabs and rock cards, but that's beside the point. So yeah, I mean it's super specialized, and it's important that the people that are dealing with this stuff know what they're touching. And like the whole place is cammed up. Like we can review everything all the time, right? We pack and unpack under cameras, right? So which is really important because like a lot of stuff, you know, people will be like, oh no, it was definitely in the box, and I'll be like, well,
Yep.
it's all on camera.
The same thing that, you know, see people would, oh, this part's defective. Well, yeah, because your tech ripped one of the cables when they were unboxing or tripped you to install it. It was we sent it to you, it was good, and you sent it back to us damaged, but it was tech error. It wasn't a bad part. And if you don't have cameras on that sort of stuff, just like with cards, oh, this corner was bent. No, it wasn't. Like, you know, it is really key to have all this thought out. And I don't know, I'm guessing most people probably don't understand how complex, like you say, oh, we vault and we fulfill stuff. It's there's so much that goes into it from a customer service standpoint, and staying on top of stuff and preventing issues before they become issues, really mitigating issues, I guess maybe a better way to put it. And yeah, respect. I would have guessed the team's much larger than what it is. So you must have a really, not just the core, you know, 3 founders, but those you're working with are, I'm guessing, some superstars to. They're
amazing. Yeah. And frankly, everyone's working very hard. We need to continue to grow the team. We're very cautious about who we bring on, and it just takes a little longer. We do really extensive background checks, stuff like that, because they're touching really important stuff. So it's just a slower hiring process, but it is constant. Like we are not stopping our hiring at all. Anyone in the Orlando area that wants to hang out with Collectibles all the time, reach out.
Cool. Yeah,
we're always
in Orlando. I'm just over in Tampa St. Pete for a while now. I'm actually in Sarasota, but yeah, not too far. Great state.
I was raised in Jacksonville. I love Florida.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm in North Carolina now, but that's just because I follow my wife around.
Good man, smart man. I do want to talk about the rewards platform in a bit. I think that's what maybe prompted this conversation, because I was quite frankly kind of blown away when we had the Clanos team on talking about their those blind boxes, because it's not just rewards like the daily quests, the spins, like really felt like a really robust user engagement platform as well. Something for everyone to do, whether they're doing live rips, whether they're buying stuff daily. I feel like more crypto native brands could and should be tapping into some of this stuff, that just because we're on chain, just because you have a points program, maybe there's a future TG, you don't have to just wait for that to reward your users, especially those that are loyal. And you want to be doing fun little things like this. They're going to bring them back day and day, because it's not just the daily traffic. It's, if they're coming to your site every day, they're much more likely to spend more, to be an active user, and probably just as important to talk about your platform and not just refer others or share an affiliate link, but actually become a brand ambassador. So I do want to get into all that here in a second. Before we jump into that, can you expand on, like, the other thing that I thought was pretty impressive is it's while I come from a crypto native environment, I don't think you would have to be. Like, it was just very normie friendly. I probably should come up with a better word than that, but you've done a great job of hiding the tech, right? Like it's on chain, but I don't know, is like, you don't make it like, it's not screaming in red lights. Oh, this is on, it's on abstract, right? You guys are.
Yep. Abstract. And
like I said, I had to ask the question mark, because you have really done a great job of obfuscating the tech, and it's very Web 2 user interface-esque. It looks and feels like any Shopify site, any website you go and transact on, albeit, the Rails, the infrastructure is powered by blockchain. So why abstract? Can you expand on that? What attracted you to abstract, and any thoughts, any feelings, good, bad, and different on your journey on abstract thus far? We are streaming on abstract, by the way. Shout out to the abstract chat over there.
Yeah, I mean, and I appreciate you saying that, and I know Alex will appreciate it too. It's very important to us that the user experience be superior to alternatives, right? Like one of our core goals at DYLI is that blockchain makes a better product than our competitors. And when I say our competitors, I mean StockX, eBay, TCG Player, right? Like we can't sit there and say we're a good product if we're just a good product for people who know how to use a wallet, right? We need to be the best product in the category. Now, can I say that I'm better than eBay yet? I don't know, but like that's the goal, that's the mission. It's a North Star, and that requires making things like really convenient. You mentioned like if this was around in 2020, I would have done this more, and my answer is like it couldn't have been, right? Like we're highly dependent on some incredible SaaSes and tooling that has been built over time. Shout out Privy. The on-ramps are getting better and better. There's so many things that need to come together to make an app like this feel as smooth as it is. It's mostly Alex, but no, our SaaS partners and everyone who brings some of the tooling to the table have really enabled it to feel so smooth. Abstract, when Abstract sort of announced itself, they announced themselves as a consumer forward chain, right? And that is just inherently what we want to be as a platform. We want to be for the collector, for the consumer. We want to serve them. And if the chain is going to optimize for that, that is to our benefit and to our users' benefit, right? I think it's funny because, and this is not meant to throw shade at other chains or anything. Obviously, Abstract has their portal, right? This app store. And when I first saw that, I was like, this is so obvious. And it's also never happened. Yep. And it seems so great. Now it has its ups and downs, right? Because when something goes on the portal, if it's a scam or garbage, like that's Abstract's fault now. Whereas you can say, oh, blockchains are permissionless. It's not our fault that this happens. Like it is if you put it on your portal because you've validated it. So it does open up risk, but it creates a much more holistic consumer experience for people who are thinking about your chain, right? My average Web2 user doesn't care. They don't even know what Abstract is. They just go to DYLI because they're buying Pokemon or whatever, right? But for a Web3 user, knowing that you can operate within a broader ecosystem and enjoy games, whatever, like that's a really cool thing. I know that and I thought it was obvious, and I thought that like all of a sudden everyone would have it. Recently, I saw that another chain actually like turned one on and like turned it off within a week. And I'm like, oh, like maybe it's harder to do than I thought. Like I have no idea. I just imagined it was like such an obvious like level up, but maybe it's really challenging. So kudos to Abstract for like maintaining that and finding ways to grow it. If it is an otherwise challenging thing for a chain to do, but that consumer mindset is what drew us to Abstract. And as we've kind of mentioned, like, and Abstract has been the community is phenomenal. Our we had a great core user base just from being available to those people. Like that's amazing. But I also would hope that my success is not dependent on any blockchain, no matter what, right? Like if we can create a really good experience that people want and that serves people's needs, right? Solves problems for our collectors, I would anticipate that growth no matter what chain I'm on. Mm-hmm. Being on Abstract just has aligned incentives with our tech stack, right? Abstract wants to serve the same people we want to serve. And that means that we're both doing our customers a service, right? By using a chain that optimizes for my customers, I'm helping them. And by this chain working with me, they're making sure that they have a much more robust consumer ecosystem. So it just makes sense in that regards. Has never gone down. No complaints.
Yeah. It's so funny. My takes, my bullish sentiment towards Abstract is exactly that. The portal, it does seem so obvious. I'm still in shock that more. I mean, we have seen the one you're referencing, Mega ETH. Still a fan of Mega ETH, but yeah, they turned the terminal on, turned it off. They still have a portal-esque, but just rethinking how they're doing their points thing.
I honestly don't know. I don't know much about them. Like, to be fair, ever since I got crushed on the Echo thing, like I was like hitting refresh and I whatever. And after that, there was no spite, but I was like, oh, I'm like, I can't think about this, which is a terrible Web3 mindset. But beside the point, I don't know much about it. I just know,
it's not just that. Moonhead raised millions of dollars, and they launched a portal that was kind of a copy of Abstract, but just not nearly as good, not nearly as robust, and it's been shocking to me that so few chains have a portal, a home base, and
I don't think that a copy is a bad thing, by the way. Like I also think like that's like the most like me thing is like, oh, they're copying us. It's like, no, you had a really good idea, and now people are like building around that idea. Like if you're gonna like me, it means that you've got like you have no moat and you're scared because they're gonna do it better, right? Like I don't think, and I don't want to speak for Abstract, but I don't think anyone at Abstract was like scared that people were doing that. I think it's awesome. What I'm surprised by was their decision not to continue, and I don't have any details as to why. But I don't think it's a bad thing that if chains start opening up portals, I think they should. I think Abstract's user base benefits from it, and I think any chain would. And I don't think that anyone should look at that and be like, "Oh, they're copying us." Like, yeah, like you didn't come up with that. Like the App Store has been around for a while. Like nothing's novel, right? Like in our TCG space, right? Like these gotcha, they're not novel. Anyone like, oh, they're building. Who cares? I will say though, Slabs app, if you've heard of them. They're doing really cool, novel things that I want to copy eventually. Yeah, like they went live with this. It's like the silliest game, like if you know the back end of it, because it's just like it's just a number generator, but it's tap the glass and randomly someone's tap of the glass shatters it and they get what's inside, right? It's like this super simple game that, again, very community oriented because everyone's tapping the glass together. Everyone's trying to move the needle here, and it's awesome. And I know they have way more games now. I like 3-person team, really busy, very hard to keep up all the time. But like I thought when I saw the tap the glass as like their first like introductory thing, I was like, this is so novel. Like this is great. Like I'm gonna have to copy some of this stuff one day. And you know what? When I do, I hope that they don't like me. I hope they're like, oh, cool. Like we did something that is like been validated.
Inspired others, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Give me some PTSD flashback to my F and Pickle though, talking about tapping glass.
Oh yeah, I mean, wow, that's really old. Yeah, that's crazy. That was such a weird time. We like gave value to such nonsense. It was so fun.
It was such a weird time. It was such nonsense, and it was also probably the most fun by and large I've had in the space. Every day there was something new, nonsensical, and bring the fun back. Bring the silly stuff that's fun and unique. Not everything's gonna hit, but yeah, keep taking the shots on goal. I'm here for it. But speaking of Abstract and Abstract streaming, shout out to Hans over there. Appreciate the big generous tip. And Be Epic said just ripped a $50 box, got a Mega Charizard, a PSA 9. Congratulations. A lot of we got some big Abstract fans that and you mentioned like the gotchas. Like we're do some work with BZ and they sponsor a segment for us here on the show. We do it's called Coffee with Captain, and we do a claw pull for a community member once a week, and probably our most popular segment. It's just like is a gotcha, is it unique? Is it proprietary? No, but it's still, you can make small little changes. You put your own twist on things and, lean into stuff that works, lean into things that, there's a market for, people enjoy doing. And at the end of the day, it shouldn't be like your core differentiator, your core competency, but be like you said, like top of funnel. It's a great top of funnel mechanism. And you don't have to be the only one in the world doing it.
Yeah, actually, we really like the live shopping and the live ripping side of our business, and we fuel that through. So we have sealed boxes, sealed gotchas, and those it's like such a great flywheel because people will play those, keep some packs, and then submit them for rips. And so I love our sealed gotchas, and our packs are down right now because we're doing like a little revamp of them. But it'll be up probably today. I want to say today, maybe tomorrow for where we used to have a $15 pack, which is a little expensive. And, but it's because you can hit all sorts of cool stuff. But now we're going to have a 15 and a 750. So anybody who just kind of needs to feel something can hit the 750, get some live rips going. 750 is going to be exclusively non-English, so Japanese and Chinese packs. Cool. But, if you're in it for the art and the nostalgia, the language is honestly not just irrelevant, but the Japanese cards often have better foiling and are like really beautiful. So it is a good way to kind of get where you want to go. That'll be live hopefully today, maybe tomorrow. But yeah, we love the gotchas to fuel other features and other collector experiences.
How are you keeping up with are you running into supply constraints? Is that one of the bigger challenges today? Or it seems like it's part of what's made me shift my mindset and where I'm not really a deep quote unquote collector, but I do feel that people are saying, oh, Tops. I think this has a room to run because there's so many platforms like yourself that you need the graded stuff. You need the sealed packs. Like it's part of your business model. And oftentimes, I mean, my read is oftentimes when I say get back into the market, it's not all of it's getting redeemed and then they're putting it back on eBay on their own. It's often staying in this like circular economy, I guess, is for lack of a better term. Is supply challenging for you all, or what would you say if not supply? What do you foresee as some of your biggest challenges today?
Absolutely, supply is always a constraint, right? Like I think if we had more, we would do more. We're also bootstrapped, and like we don't have $1,000 slab spin yet, right? Like that requires a certain amount of money to have enough slabs at that price point, right? As a good example. So there's always supply constraints on the sealed. It is a very fascinating constraint because the truth is Pokemon Company, Magic, they print like crazy. All of the constraints are through like these scalping networks that like eat it all up, like embodying networks, right? The truth is there's plenty of product for everybody, and it's just hard to get it because of the way it flows. We've got amazing buying teams who support us, and we're constantly growing our budget in order to buy larger and larger collections at once. Like I saw Collector Crypt literally bought an LCS, like just bought their entire backstock. Like that's awesome. Like that's so cool. Like they've got great revenues. I can't buy an LCS out right now, though I'd love to. That's amazing. Supply is a thing. You kind of touched on something interesting, which is like our companies are fueling a lot of the appreciation in the market, which is a very scary thing to think about. But at the same time, we're also providing more access.
Yep.
So there is a question of, is this artificially pumping the value of these things because you've got these monoliths who are buying everything in a mostly like price insensitive way? Or are they serving a market, right? Because we wouldn't be buying nonstop if people weren't buying from us nonstop. And why are they buying from us instead of the people we bought from? Because we and people like us are flying to shows. We're going to these places that are so inaccessible.
Yep.
And then we're bringing it online and letting the whole universe enjoy.
Yep.
It almost sounds like we're opening the market up.
Exactly.
And the demand is there.
I'm 2020 collected some cards, was mostly fun. Didn't really get into the space. Now I'm like, I'm getting into this because of platforms like yourself. It's like without you, I'm not going to card shows. I'm not buying these from. Like we spent most of the day yesterday talking about VFriends and this drop today. I would have zero interest in a Tops Chrome drop, but it's I become in the space almost by default by being here. It's as collectibles have come on chain and come into a space that I'm passionate about, and it's solving real problems. Like you really are reducing friction that existed in that space for decades. And it's one of the few examples where by bringing this up on chain, it truly enhances the product. It truly makes the industry better and pushes it forward. It's not just slapping something on chain to go raise a round or add some buzzwords to your deck. It's a real value add by bringing it on chain and doing what you're all doing. And I think by proxy, those of the, and maybe the on-chain market, the active on-chain participants is a drop in the bucket relative to the collectible market. But I think most of us are net new users, net new buyers. Like you're growing the market. It may not, I think so anyways. And maybe I'm in the minority, but I do. I think like what you all are doing is absolutely growing the market.
No, I think so too. Like obviously there's probably some limit, right? Where things start to like, plateau out, go down, whatever, everything's cyclical. Like nothing is up forever. And if there are people that have big collections and they're up quite high, they probably should sell some stuff just so that they don't feel sick about anything that ever happens. But I do think that a lot of this repricing and the price insensitivity that you see from people like us is in part because we are selling into a much larger market than was previously existed. Some people might scoff at that. I just think that like the internet hasn't been properly leveraged in collectible markets to date, which is insane to say, but like, eBay hasn't changed in decades, and their live selling features suck, right? Like Whatnot kind of came onto the scene, introduced this new concept, and a lot of the entrenched players' attempts to like replicate it aren't that strong, right? Which just demonstrates how little innovation really has come to pass. So I do think there's a bit of a repricing just through broadening of markets. Are there speculators? For sure. Will there be downturns and pumps and dumps and whatever? Of course. But that's just because, people like to financialize everything, right? Like there are people who are in this to collect and for the love of the game, as always. And there are people who are not. And that's just natural and normal. And, it's all part of like a broader market. And the fact that that market is growing is a good thing for everybody.
Jonah, I really appreciate your time. I know we're running a little long this morning. I want to be respectful of that, but I've really enjoyed the conversation today. There's one other thing, and before we do let you out of here, we will, if there's any questions from the audience, drop them in the chat down below. Any of the chats, we'll be sure to get to them all as long as we can, as long as Jonah has the time. If anyone wanted to jump up on stage, we might have a little bit of time for some Q&A, and then we'll let you wrap up with any final thoughts or anything we didn't get to today that you're hoping to share. But the one thing that I did really want to highlight, I alluded to it earlier, is your dashboard, your loyalty rewards program, your quests, the leaderboards. It's not just refer and earn. It's not just a ref link. By the way, if you don't have a DYLI account, I did drop our ref link up top. Help me get my refer a friend bonus here. If you don't have your account created, go hit that link up top. But can you walk us through this and anything you want to highlight or anything you want to call out beyond? Again, there's the daily tasks, these daily spins. That's the one thing I said I hadn't done my spin of the day. So you can see like diamonds. I'm assuming that's like you talked earlier, like on when you're buying back toys, you're buying them with diamonds, and I'm guessing that's like your points program, which you can use for things like spins, other product. Maybe I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but maybe a token someday. Is there anything you can speak to on that front?
Yeah, totally. And I probably do need to wrap up after this just because I have a 10 o'clock, but let's get through the rewards because they're super important. I think that rewards should be rewarding, right? Like points need to mean something, right? Mm-hmm. So we've got diamonds and we've got tickets. The goal of all of it is to create stickiness, to make DYLI a daily part of your experience, but not like a daily expense necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think that your core daily with us needs to be to give us money. Like that's not the right relationship we want to have with our users. We want you to check in, get your free stuff, and hopefully in that period of time that you're doing that, you identify something that keeps you there, a product you want, whatever it may be. The tickets thing is literally just you click a button, you get your daily tickets. If you do spend money, you get more tickets per day, right? All those tickets go into is monthly raffles, which have this fun kind of like selector tool to kind of allocate your tickets across various prizes each month. Tickets are also just every time you spend money, you get tickets, and it's all just literally catered to giveaways. And you can log into DYLI every day, spend $0 and get 10 tickets. And at the end of the month, you've got your 300 tickets that you can allocate for free giveaways and possibly win them. I will say it pays to be strategic if you only have 300 tickets, because if one of like the big dogs puts all their tickets on one item, you're probably not going to win. Diamonds are a much broader currency in our universe. They're used to discount spins. They're used for entirely free spins of our rock hard product, which is off but turning on soon. Talk about like supply constraints. People love the rock hard product. It's kind of crazy. But it's really fun. For $1, you get to see some art, you keep it, you sell it back, you like whatever you want. But diamonds are for discounts across, our live rip feature, pretty much everything else. Like diamonds are meant to make things more affordable. Notably, we have another type of product called fair drops. Fair drops are a unique take on raffles, so to speak. They're not actually raffles in execution, but essentially they're low priced entry, one person wins experiences. And some of them are diamonds.
Okay.
Right? So you can spend your diamonds for a chance at winning items. Anybody in our ecosystem can put up a fair drop with any items in their collection for cash or diamonds. And easily enough, a lot of people do diamond fair drops because they want to accumulate more diamonds. Because you noted that there is some similarities, and it would make sense that these diamonds that can be spent to do certain things for a Web3 enabled company be a token. So some people are accumulating with that in mind. They're probably not wrong to do that, but that's not something that will necessarily put a timeline on by any means. But if and when something like that does happen, it will be a currency that is used heavily throughout the platform.
And if it were to happen, it really is a bonus. It's like extra. It's like people aren't just collecting these diamonds. Like there's more to do with it. I think that's where so many crypto native companies go wrong, is they have a points program and there's nothing to do with the points other than speculate, oh, maybe a token comes someday. And then Fantasy Top or any others that decide not to drop a token, you lost your customer base. And in that case, they're decommissioning, they're shutting down or sunsetting. So it is what it is. But like you kind of, if you don't have other use for these points, then don't do points. Like I think we got so far down the airdrop or the points farming meta that it just went the wrong way. And that's one of the things that really impressed me was it just seems like a really well thought out rewards program to where it really is a circular program. Whether you ever drop a token or not, it's hard to see people being upset because there's things they could use their diamonds for. There's things they can use their tickets for. So yeah, just salute, really well done. Just wanted to make sure I gave you some.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, like you could find a fair drop for 100 diamonds, right? Which with I'm sure you've seen with your daily wheel spins, you can easily get to 100 diamonds. Yep. We have a ton of liquidity on the platform, particularly for Pokemon. So you win the fair drop, you do an auto sell back. Now you've got money. You go spin a gacha, you get a good hit, you do a sell back, and now you've funded your ecosystem plays on DYLI, right? Like from nothing. So the goal really is to give people a reason to begin adding DYLI to their life at no cost, and then hopefully that just flows because they find value in the platform. And when they do start paying, they're paying because they're deriving value, not necessarily to just chase a TGE or anything like that. So yeah.
Well done, man. Really, really impressive. Congrats on the success so far. And we'll continue to follow along. We'll be supportive. Open invite. We should have you back and do this again at some point in the future, whenever makes sense on your end. Thomas giving teacher Katie a shout out. She turned him on to DYLI a few weeks ago. Love the variety of cards, toys, and more. Right now, just collecting tickets, but can't wait to dive in more. And I think that's what's also great about how you built this program with your quests, and the tickets, and the diamonds is you're catering to someone who, hey, I've got no collectible budget. I don't want to spend a dime. I want to participate. I'm here. I'd like to collect some of these things. You can do that. To the whales who I've got 6-7 figures in collectibles and I need a place to store them. I want to help. I want help with reducing the friction if I want to buy and sell these things. And it really is. I feel like this market that I do believe is growing and emerging. You're supporting all sectors of it, which is it's easier said than done. And I think it's a rewards program like this, a platform like this, where that enables that, right? You're making, there's something to do for everyone. And I think it starts with programs like this. So Jonah, I appreciate your time. Sorry for taking you longer than we had planned today. Anything we didn't ask you, anything that you were hoping to share today about DYLI, whether current to, upcoming in the future, anything that you'd like to share before we get you out of here?
Just that, thank you for having me on, and thanks everyone for listening to me. DYLI is constantly evolving and growing. You know, we're going to be doing quite a bit more with live shopping soon, both on like the toys and item side, but also on box breaks and things like that. So if there was ever a time to like check us out, give things a shot, I think it's now. And we're very open to feedback. We're constantly adding new features, and we'd like to know when they're not working or when they're not hitting the spot. So please both give us a try, but also, you know, in the bottom right corner, there's a chat feature. Shoot us a note, let us know what's going on. And, you know, just dive in. There's a lot to do on DYLI, and it's almost too much to talk about. We didn't even get into like trading in the social side of DYLI, but you can like we see thousands of messages through our chat features every day, right? So like it's a pretty active community. If you dive in, you'll find people, teachers. Kate is a great example. She's awesome. Like there's so many phenomenal people using the platform. So now's the time to give it a shot. We are starting to add in set quests. A big one coming with set 3 of Vibes. So, you know, even collecting those non-rares will bring more and more value to your collection. So it's a good time to even just start building up a little bit of a collection of the things you enjoy, because really we just want to reward you for doing the thing that you were going to do anyway.
I love it. I love it. Shout out to Zane, our guy, longtime friend of the show, in here every day. He did some work on that Vibes 3 collection, and excited to see that one come to market. And then I know we don't have time to get into it today, but I saw another coming soon tab. There was the pawn shop, and I guess the TLDR, if I'm understanding it correctly, it's tapping into liquidity on items you hold and own, right? Basically lending against their.
Yeah, it's not for everybody, but for those who want liquidity, we literally custody the asset we're issuing the loan against. Like, very easy for us to feel confident about these over collateralized loans. So we're happy to do that, and we're able to do that.
I love it. Also, something that's, I mean, I guess I could take my 1986 Jerry Rice rookie card to an actual literal pawn shop, maybe, and they might give me a little bit of a couple dollars for something like that. But it's another example of where how you've all built this out, building Onchain, you know, taking custody of these. It unlocks something like this that just hasn't been a thing in the collectible market historically. Like, it really is it's creating an entirely new market inside of this emerging market, and really exciting. Like you said, not for everyone, but you know, especially for those big collectors, those whales, like unlocking this liquidity without forcing them to sell some of their collection. It's a big deal.
Yeah, and it's you know, it's a closed system, so there's like a high degree of comfort. The rates are super low. Well, they will be super low once it's live. So hopefully it's a feature that those who want it find value in, and those who don't want it, it does not disrupt their daily life by any means. In fact, anyone who does choose to default will just have their items at a lower cost, and we'll make them available to other people at lower cost. So that'll be great too.
Jonah, really enjoyed the conversation today. Appreciate your time. Thanks so much for all that you're doing. On behalf of everyone here, I just grateful to be able to talk to builders, founders, people that are really pushing the space forward. When I say space, not just collectibles, but everything we talked about today. Like, I'm sure there's other industries beyond the collectible market that could learn from what y'all are doing, from 3PL to on-chain loyalty rewards program. And it really is. I hope others are. I think we talk about like the NFT phase 2 or the next season of NFTs. It's going to be very different than the one before, but I do hope it's platforms like this that attract new builders to the space, people that see what you're doing, like, wow, this just really is so much better than the Web 2 counterparts for many reasons. And thanks again for being a leader and pushing the space forward. Greatly appreciated, and truly enjoyed the conversation. So yeah, open invite. We'll do this again.
Yeah, it was a great time. I look forward to coming back.
Awesome, man. Have a great day. Appreciate it. Thanks again.
Thanks, everybody.
I apologize to your 10 o'clock on my behalf. We kept you long, but for everyone else, thanks so much for tuning in today. Enjoyed the chat. Appreciate all the comments in the chat. Congrats to Be Epic on the big hit there, that PSA 9 Charizard. And if you're new here, if you just found us, we do run this back every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern time. We usually go till 10 o'clock. Often that we usually just one interview when we do it, but often that second hour of the day is a special guest following, the first hour. We cover trending topics, news of the day, daily market update, and more. But we'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern time. Final reminder, if you've not yet joined our Coffee with Captain, also, I did see that as required, saw the tag. Shout out again to Oxy for making that connection. as required. Would love to talk about your article there. Did share it up top. No obligation, but if time permits, I'll have you back on here another day. Don't forget that cigar drop, the raffle for that. If you're in the running, that closes at noon tomorrow. And then I will pin up top again, all the way to the left, link for tomorrow's show. We'll be back live at 8 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. And before the show, you're going to want to get your bracket filled out for the World Cup competition. You got a $250 draw, but that could turn into a four-figure Grail pool if you hit, and probably one of the lowest amount of competitors compared to some of these other big, free World Cup competitions with thousands, if not hundreds of thousands or millions of other competitors. So go get your bracket filled out. It's free to enter. Just click the link I pinned all the way up top and join us in there. Let's have some World Cup fun. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Until then, have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone.